Founder of Moms for Literacy, Ms Gonzales, says COVID-19 has changed how we learn. She says the online initiatives being introduced to facilitate social distancing are forcing us to take a different approach to learning. TTT News spoke to Ms Gonzales on the occasion of World Literacy Day. Ian Wayson has more.
Founder of Moms for Literacy, Ms Gonzales, says literacy is just as important during the pandemic or even more so. She notes literacy is the ability to understand what is going on in the society, and it plays a key role in the growth of the society.
We are seeing even now with this COVID, some people are not comprehending. They don't seem to be following the levels of literacy as to why we should not expose ourselves and why we should wear masks and why we should not be in the bars at this point. That would come under the comprehension and literacy.
Mrs. Gonzales believes COVID-19 has placed an opportunity before us to explore other learning methods as we have to cope with social distancing.
With COVID, what we are seeing is us being forced to come together and say, hey, how can we do it together? How can we do it differently? What needs to happen for all the groups, the teachers, the parents, and the children? So in many ways, this has been good for us in that way, in the way that we now have to think outside the box.
However, she says this brings its own challenges, as some parents may not be too familiar with the devices and therefore may be unable to help their children.
Sometimes if the parent is there, in our normal setting, the parent would not be there. But if the parent is there, sometimes you get more anxiety from the child because the parent's anxiety will pass on to the child. So we have to look and see how we can get parents to be a bit more calm, to understand that they are doing well, and to understand that the learning is going to happen. What they need is to give positive support to their children.
When choosing books for the little ones, Mrs. Gonzales tells parents, choose appropriate books. That is, the appropriate level, and not necessarily the class for them. She says if a Standard 3 student is at the level of a Standard 1, then that child will not be inclined to read if given Standard 3 books. Ian Wayson, TTT News.